Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations here with two things I wanted to share with you. If you took the time to watch the very long, painful video of me creating this Bible, you've seen most of it, but I wanted to show you, I made a few more changes and added a few things to it, so I wanted to share this with you. And this is a very different journal. I've actually never made something like this before and just thought I would try it with some leftover leather scraps, and I'll get more into this in a minute. Let's start with, this is the Bible that I bought for my daughter, and she wanted something different on the cover. She didn't want a plain cover, so I started out by painting the cover to go with these papers. Now, these papers are by Beth, who does Beloved Society for Illustrated Faith, and I bought these through Dayspring. That was a lot of information. Anyway, if you would like to get these papers, I'll put the link below for Dayspring. And I painted them with the greens and the pinks and the blacks so that this actually resembles one of the papers that she did. And what you saw in the previous video was me actually doing the cover part. Some of the changes that I've made is on the back, I went ahead and added a few of the stickers so that it wasn't just plain and painted. And this one says, God has more in store for you than you can ever imagine, Ephesians 3:20. And I did go ahead and paint over, you can kind of see Holy Bible and Tyndale and NLT there, but I went ahead and just painted over things and wasn't too worried about it. On the cover, I did a lot of layering. I think, one of my favorite things is layering. So I did layering. I started with a stripe and then added this floral. And if you want to see the whole process, you can go back and take a look at that. I've added a bulb pin that says, with the Tim Holtz little round thing that says truth, and layered up some papers. And my daughter has blonde hair, long blonde hair, so this of all the Beloved Society girls, this one reminded me of her. So there are a couple of little hidden gems on here. You may have noticed this is a tag, and if you saw the other process video, you saw me making the tag. And on this side, I asked Rachel what her favorite verse was, and she said Matthew 11:28 through 30. And so I printed this up on, I used Canva to create this, so it's got the colored pieces that match so well with all the other blues in here. And then another little hidden tuck spot is right here, and this is just a little card that pulls out. Her father and I are going to each write a little note and maybe a Bible verse, and we're going to tuck that right in there so she'll always have that. The other thing I did was I created all of these Bible tabs, and what I did was, again, using Canva, I created these Bible tabs by printing this. I copied and pasted literally from online, and then put it into this font, and then printed them out on matte sticker paper. And then I used my little We Are Memory Keepers tab and punched out a bunch of tabs using all the different papers that it had, and we'll just flip through these really quickly. So I love that I used a variety of different things. This was definitely not going to be boring. I did use the same font. I've seen several that are different fonts, but I basically used the same font on all of these so that there was a little bit of consistency. And this is a little messy, which is more like I am. And so I hope my daughter's OCD doesn't kick in and she freaks out that these are not exactly perfectly lined up. But to me, the point was that it was fun, and I just wanted lots of color and colorful things. So that is the Bible I made. I call it an altered Bible because I've completely changed the outside and literally the inside as well by adding all of these luscious tabs. Now, this other journal that I made, my son plays RPGs, role-playing games. He actually made up his own RPG and played that for years with a group of kids from his Boy Scout troop. And so he wanted something that looked more medieval, dragon-esque, that kind of thing. And I had some leather that my husband gave me, and I needed 2 pieces to make a piece big enough for this cover. So you can actually kind of see the seam a little bit there, There's a seam there. So what I did was I overlapped the two pieces and then took jute twine and did this cross stitch all the way around it. I also did punch two holes here and here. These are to hold elastic. So this is kind of like a traveler's notebook kind of cover. And I put a key here that says memory. The centerpiece here was a piece I had already, and honestly, I don't know where it came from because I throw away all the packaging and store everything pretty quickly. And then inside, it's really simple. I covered up the inside with all the sewing and stitching and all of that with some vintage French upholstery ribbon, not even sure what this is called. And then he just wanted lined paper. I didn't have any, so I actually printed out this lined paper using a printable from Nick the Booksmith. This is my coffee dyed paper. It's 28-pound coffee dyed where it's been acid neutralized. And then you'll see, all of this together is well over 120 pages, or it's about 120 pages. And then on the inside, this is that elastic, so each one of these signatures is being held in by elastic, so when he fills them, he can set them aside and use them to, I can make him more and he can keep going and not have to get a new one of these. So these are the two things that I made for my kids for Christmas. Today is our Christmas. I know it's a little bit late. Christmas for us, it tends to be a movable feast. We get together when we can all get together. It doesn't have to be on December 25th, which technically, if you're going to get technical, is not actually Jesus's birthday. We just picked a day to celebrate. And so for me and my family, it means we can celebrate any time of the year. So today, my kids will get these. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these things, and I hope that something I've done today has inspired you to be creative.